Hey guys, welcome to session 64 of Materia. Unfortunately, today we're a little light on players, but the story goes on. Allegretto and Marp are tied up, but we will continue on the 32nd evening, technically, of Wildscar, where previously the menagerie had made it to what we have dubbed Green Post, which is a kind of, I guess you would call it like a refugee camp of Green Hill commoners and inhabitants that have managed to escape the, I guess maybe the right word is insurrection or internment. Let's call it internment. That is besieged upon Green Hill proper by the Eastern Front collapsing to the Giantkin and Ogre attacks, making their way over to Green Hill, and then on a strange twist, which is actually one of the items that is on the to-do list for the menagerie to figure out, is what was the common ground between the Giantkin and the worshippers of the Mother of Bounty, because they seem to be in some sort of pact or truce where the reports from Green Hill have mentioned that the influence and the reach and even kind of, I guess you would say, even propaganda for the Mother of Bounties has spread very quickly over the course of the last month, where they've taken over many of the public shrines and converted them strictly to Mother of Bounty shrines. The daughters are spreading. They are spreading the word of their, matron, as well as, essentially forcing people to convert, or they are basically locked up, in a sense, as far as you know. The menagerie did get orders to go to Green Hill with a group led by Erebus, one of the Grot Guard. He's a lieutenant of Seb's Grot Guards. And they would go north to Green Hill, meet outside where there's two broken mills, and have transport arranged for them to go in to town via the water canals, because the city itself is still functioning just in a weird kind of ogre giant influence kind of way. Upon reaching the team that was leaving Green Hill to report back to Green Post, they did hear that the Giantkin were bringing large rocks and boulders into town, where Dregnar believed that this is, preparing for any type of conflict, as they are known to hurl rocks and boulders and trees. With the menagerie making it to the mills on the outside, the menagerie got to see a smiling, familiar face of Julian, the cargo man, which Davis made sure everyone was aware of.
That's what he asked.
He's the cargo man.
Call it a cargo man.
And also one other familiar face, well, not so familiar, but familiar after a moment, of Rex, the moss-covered bugbear, who, as quick and witted or as high and limber as his limbs are, is just as witty, and immediately challenged Rock to a game of dragon chess. And that is essentially where we left off.
I think Al was going to watch, right?
It's up to you guys if you want to play the dragon chess or we just want to do some basic rolling, but essentially it is, it's, let's call it early afternoon, if I remember the time correctly, because you guys were to be, snuck in towards sundown, when many of the fishing boats will be coming back along the River Sly and its many channels to the ports and the docks to be able to offload or turn it in for a day.
It's up to you, Rock. You want to play?
Heck yeah, I do.
Yeah, Al probably would like to watch, I would say.
Okay. So, Rock, you possibly remember that, Rex is good at this. and he is a bit of a quick-handed. So he, he's like, oh yes, I'm ready for a good challenge. He's like, bugbears, very long, lanky, limbed, fur-covered individuals. Honestly, an intimidating visage, but as you've met and talked with him, he's actually just a really nice, kind of, easygoing, but very competitive when it comes to games kind of guy. And his big old grin, his big two bottom canines showing as he's like setting up the board. His lips are, like he's licking his chaps, ready to play some good dragon chess. And you see all his mix match of pieces that you know that he's won over time. And if I recall correctly, you bet that the winner gets to take a piece or something.
Yes, you get to pick a piece from the others and swap out with one of your own.
All right. So, Dragon Chess in at least Materia, it's a very free-forming game. Essentially, it's just to eliminate and control territory. As you recall, Calisor played a very widespread and like pack hunting its prey kind of tactic, where you were known for turtling in and hunkering down. So feel free to kind of just use your imagination. It's like an open board. There's pieces that have different abilities that are shared amongst themselves. Just make it up as you go. Have some fun. It's like 3D chess meets D&D. I'll just say Rex has a slew of different pieces, and he's just kind of set them up on his side of the board where there's like an empty center point, and he's got two groupings, one on the left-hand side and one on the right-hand side. He just puts them down, puts his last piece down, which is this really intricately carved ivory piece that's of a kraken's tentacle or like an octopus tentacle, just kind of spiraling upwards. And he puts that down, grins. He's like, guests move. Cracks his knuckles. He's just excited.
I stuck my pieces up in kind of in a half circle, spread out with a couple of my better pieces, just a little bit in behind.
Okay.
So I kind of form the wall, and I'll look at them. And I'm gonna set down each piece nice and slow. And if I can, while I'm doing that, I'm gonna use minor illusion just to make it seem like my pieces are alive.
Okay.
Right,
as you put them down.
Or like what if they're holding a weapon? They'll they'll kind of like look like they're ready to stab, and then they'll go into a defensive position.
Okay, cool. Sure, I'll allow that. That's fun. That's a nice little flair. Maybe a little bit of distraction and everything. So.
And as I'm looking at his two groups to set up, I'll be like, yes, the classic, the classic pincer opening. I've seen this before. You're gonna have to do better than that.
He's just like, you think it's a pincer? You'll see. He just got this big grin, and you see he like picks up a piece and just like twirling it in his fingers, kind of nervously, maybe like a twitch, puts it back down into the same spot. He's like, points to you, and he's like, letting you move. So basically, you can choose as you wish, an aggressive move, a defensive move, or just if you want to like reposition on the board. And we'll roll just to see, if there's any consequences on the board.
So before I make a move, I'm gonna look over at Al and just give him a wink.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll make back, and I'll make a show of hovering my hand over the front line with my eyes closed. And I'll just slowly move my hand back and forth and be like, "This one's the one that wants to move," and I'll just pick a piece at random and move it. Like, not full aggression, but like halfway that I can forward.
Gotcha. So yeah, he'll grin, and he's like, okay, whatever. And you'll see he'll just very quickly, as you move, like the moment you said this one's ready to move, he grabs one on each flank and just on the very outskirts and just moves them forward, just kind of as if to start stretching out even further up the board. No roll needed. Both of them are just simple repositioning moves.
Okay. Where he advanced his 2 pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Are you allowed to move 2 pieces a turn? How many can you move a turn? What's the?
There's certain, like you can move more smaller pieces at a time. Your more bigger pieces you can only move once.
Okay, we're kind of like one. Got.
Yeah.
Where he moves 2 pieces forward a little,
Mm-hmm.
I tuck 2 pieces into the circle back, like
Okay. Gotcha. So you're retreating. So he was like, already? Really? Okay. And he'll just kind of leave the right side alone, and then he'll take a very aggressive stance and move that little piece forward again, and then back it up with a bigger piece. And it's one of those pieces where it just starkly does not match anything else that he has. It's it's like a handmade, like someone made it themselves, and it's just a lot of different like metal fish hooks that have been seemingly like somehow welded together or tacked together, and it just looks like the most gnarly dangerous piece on the board that it'll just like hook you and probably get you tetanus. He just slides it forward. He's like, remember, that one's a power hitter, very strong.
I just gently like kind of prick my finger in one of the hooks on it and be like, that's the one. I like that one. When I win, that's the one.
Okay. Good luck. Rusty ain't going nowhere.
And so he's moved 2 more forward. So I am going to kind of in the exact same where he's moving forward. I'm going to continue to collapse inwards.
Okay. He just grins again, and now he's actually going to roll because he's going to try to like rush your side with a couple pieces just to see if he can meet the distance. Rolls an 8. So he goes and he wants to do an aggressive move, but the way that you've positioned it, he realizes that there's not an angle for attack, and he just literally just shifts starting to shifting his right flank to kind of cover the center more. He's kind of spreading it out, kind of making like this L shape on the board, with a gnarly hooked piece like just primed and ready to just hit anything that gets in range.
Okay, so my whatever piece that I'm going to assume have a piece that can move a little more or whatever from everything else.
Mm-hmm.
I want that one to move as far to the right side of the board as possible.
Sure. Go ahead and roll me just a d20, and let's see if you have a... wait, you play your intelligence. So yeah, d20 plus your intelligence mod and proficiency, because I think you're proficient in the game. So just to see if you set up the board well.
That was only a 10 total.
10 total? Really? Okay. You go to slide it, and you go, and there's just this one point that's being covered well. You're willing to, if you want to, you can move it all the way over, but you know that position is exposed if you do so. But it's a strong piece that you're moving. It's a fast piece, but it's a strong piece.
Yeah, I'll move it.
Okay. So he'll grin, see that, and he'll just kind of be like, what? Okay. And then I'm going to roll something real quick. Okay, that's a decent roll. So yeah, he'll kind of ignore that piece and then move another piece past it, essentially, kind of like just avoiding essentially like your arc, right? And then just kind of standing there, and he's essentially trying to cut that piece off from any reinforcement. And he just grins. He's like, well, that's your game. Okay, your turn.
I'm going to whisper over to Davis. Davis nearby, right?
Yeah, I'm not super interested in it, but if you whisper loud enough, I'd hear it.
Oh, Davis.
Yeah, what's up?
I forget what I'm doing. Got any tips for me?
I don't know.
And I'll look at Al and I'll give Al a wink again. And then I'm going to try and use some couple of my pieces to do the same thing he's trying to do and cut his one piece off from the rest of his side.
Okay, go for it. Roll me, again, an intelligence check. See if you're able to compensate for how dangerous that piece is. I really like
Did you still want help? Because I don't know how to play this game.
19? Okay. Yeah, so as Davis is saying, you still want help. You just slide that piece right around, avoiding the hooks, like, air threat area. And he's like, damn. Yeah, you're definitely not like Julian. And he kind of puts his hand up to his chin. And he's kind of thinking and looking. He's got a little stumped. He's like, Okay. And he kind of puts, he's got a big hand. He kind of puts his hand over one piece. Go ahead and give me a perception check. But this is not his game.
9 total.
How much?
9.
Oh wow. Okay. He rolled a natural 1 and he still beats you. Yay! So he goes and he puts one piece, and you're kind of like focusing on that, and then where his hand is, and then he's like, and then on the other side of the board, he moves a piece just straight up, and he's gonna make an attack roll. He rolls a 21 total, so we'll say that he manages to like smash one of his pieces that you must have lost track of or something. And he goes in and he does some, moderate damage to any type of support that might be coming for that one piece that you have like kind of cut off. And he just kind of, yeah, that's a good one. Okay, your turn.
Okay, again, I'm gonna be like, Davis, what's the play?
I don't know how this game's played.
I'm gonna point to a piece, be like, should I move this guy here?
Sure.
Or this guy here, or this guy here? Which one?
Here, actually, let me roll. The first one.
The first one? Okay, I'm doing the first move that I pointed at, which is, so the first one was to attack the, sorry, I had these in my head. So first one was to attack the piece I have cut off.
Okay, so the hook piece. All right, go ahead and roll me an intelligence check to go slam into it, and then I'll roll a defensive check for him.
Oh, that's good.
Oh damn.
So this is still intelligence plus proficiency?
Yeah, because you have proficiency in the game, so yeah.
24.
Oh jeez.
Nice.
Yeah, he rolled a natural 2. It's still a 12, but you still smash into him. So yeah, he's like, what? That's my what? You just scratch it, and he's like, okay. Significant damage. You managed to.
Idea? Is that the right one?
He's like, damn. Okay.
You're not with this, Davis. Jeez.
Right. Cool. Nice.
All right. 2 versus 1. I get it. You need the help. Okay. Okay. And he's just looking at the board. Okay. And he's just going to say, all right, I'm going to sacrifice this one here. He just kind of puts it on the side of the board to empower this one here so it can do a double turn. Because this is the matron. The matron does the sacrifice to empower the seat. The seat jumps here. No, it doesn't work. Damn. Damn. All right, and I will just kind of roll a couple 20s. Right now, you have a major advantage as you hit his hook. His hook is his strongest piece. So go ahead and roll me 3 intelligence checks, and I'll roll 3 of his checks. Okay. And I'll just write them down for you. So 21. This is just to see if he can dig himself out of a hole. That's his totals.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, no. Oh, okay. I gotta take a picture.
Use your portents.
No, it's a clean game. I'm already cheating by getting Davis's help.
Clearly.
It's only cheating if you get caught.
Yeah. But you didn't catch Rex once.
Also, his portents are terrible today for this.
Oh yeah, he had like a 4 and a 7, right?
Yeah.
I could roll it. I could change this though. So I'm just putting this
true.
in. I rolled actually pretty well. I feel bad.
Okay.
But Adding 7 each room, I have a natural 20, so 27, a 16, so 23, and a 13, so 20.
You tied
Damn.
on the last two.
Okay, so yeah, you're basically, so what happens is you're just kind of, where he's constantly shifting, he's seeing the weakness, right, on the left-hand side, like you managed to kind of break through, mess up his hook piece that he loves so much, and then you kind of just start see him shifting to the right pieces to the left to kind of compensate, and then you just make this aggressive hook around and just slam through, and then on the last turn where you match, he's like, he almost starts to recover, he's like, oh wait, I got an opening, and then you just very quickly move one of your weakest little pieces, just this little wood carved little turtle that's just, so simple and so you just kind of move it in there and you just basically block his path to any type of hope, and you're like silly shit-eating grin, and he's like, ugh, man, Julian's made me suck at this game. Okay, 2 out of 3. Hey, you crush him.
2 out of 3.
Okay. And you guys will continue just, as you wish, to kind of play throughout the night, go have some fun the afternoon playing. But essentially, at the end of it, you are more than welcome to take his hooked piece.
I'm going to ask him about it. I mean, like, where'd you get the hook piece from? What's it mean to you?
Okay. Sounds silly, right? But this is cool. So each one of these hooks, and you see it's about 7, and they're different sizes, different metals. One is actually like a fishbone hook and everything, and you just kind of wound them up, kind of as best as you can, either welded them together, use resin to get them stuck together, whatever, and it kind of makes like this crown of hooks looking shape thing. And he's like, all right, this is one where we caught one of those lightning eels off the coast. First lightning eel ever caught and singed. Well, never go lightning eel fishing when there's a storm. And you see that the bone hook actually has like some like burnt char marks on it. He's like, yeah, that one, my hair was on edge for, I don't know, standing on end for 3 weeks straight. It was really weird. And he's just kind of going through the story. That one right here, we ran into some salagine. You can do me a history check if you want to know what those are. Davis, you can do a history check at advantage.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't. I rolled a 3.
I might also ask him, what coast are you talking about? Where were you?
All right. He will kind of perk up, and he's like, oh, just, far side off the setting bluffs, the steep coast. Just all the way over there.
That's the west
coast,
right?
Way on the west, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah. So if you wanted to give me that history check.
I rolled. It's 12. I put it in the chat, sorry.
12? Okay. Salagine are, you don't know much about them, but you've heard of them. They are like, basically as what you know them as some sort of fish people.
Right.
They're fairly dangerous.
Oh. Yeah, I've heard those can be scary. I've heard bad things, that's all.
Yeah, well, that right there, that hook, for whatever reason, one of them, he had it like a token or a symbol or a trophy. I don't know. So when we beat him up and we survived, I took it. I like it. It's one of like, it's the largest hook essentially on it. And then he'll just kind of tell you like the story, him catching a rare type of fish with this hook, him, surviving a pirate attack, way up north, actually beyond the parched cray, which is like super north on their way to another continent. And then he'll be like, oh yeah, memories, but hey, you got them. Enjoy them. Take care of them.
Oh, yeah, so I'll be like, yeah, I guess I do get to pick a piece. But we are trading. We can't leave our board short. So I'm gonna get the little itty bitty turtle piece that I have in my set.
Okay.
I'm gonna flip it around in my hand and hand it to him.
Well,
You're like, you're winning, sir. And gonna hover my hand over his hook thing and then be like, I don't want to rob you of the chance to tell other people all those stories because I can't tell those stories. I won't remember them all. How about you give me a piece and I'll take whatever. But
Okay.
you can keep your hook guy. You're a worthy opponent.
Okay. He'll take. Okay. No, you're not as cutthroat as I thought. But cute turtle. I can't believe I lost to this thing. Really? Oh, okay. And he kind of puts it on the side. He's like, I will call you Shelly. Yeah.
Nice.
And then he'll trying to think of like a cool piece. He will grab another piece, and it was one that you saw him use quite frequently as well. And it's actually it's a piece that really doesn't look like a piece that belongs to this. It's a coin. It is a coin from, well, with like the different types of filigree that have been like kind of worn out from use and handling. It is actually incredibly smooth and incredibly where if you exchange something or touch like a piece of metal or touch like a statue, like you'll see it in Europe where there's those statues and people touch like their noses or their boots or something, and it almost gets like polished and gold and gets super smooth. It almost has like that super smooth texture to it. I guess honestly, whoever's looking at the game, if you want to, you can give me a history check as well. So Al would be watching, so someone can roll a history check for Al. Davis, you can roll if you're paying attention, but not at advantage this time because it's something.
Yep, not at advantage.
Okay, 18, nice.
Al rolled a 9.
9. Okay, so Al won't recognize it. Davis, there's something a little bit about it, and there just happens to be the way, like because it's not in a language you recognize, but it is kind of like the calligraphy and the style of it that you've seen. There is a portion of materia where it's just known as the Great Blue. If we were to like look at a map of like the globe of the Earth, kind of just imagine as if like North America and a portion of like Russia and the Bering, all that was missing, and it's just like this giant blue Pacific Ocean blob, and that's kind of there in materia. There's just like this weird like hemisphere, almost like a quarter of a hemisphere that is just open, vast ocean.
Okay.
And there's just isles that are, numerous and uncounted for, and no one knows how many islands there are or what people actually live there, what cultures are above and under the water. But you've seen a ship a long time ago that had very similar calligraphy, and you were told that was its name. And the coin has something very similar to that. And the face on it is, well, it's like the coin itself is more of like a fish-looking coin on one side, and on the back of it's completely smooth. It just has like almost like fish scale and impressions into the back of the coin. And you look at it, and it's just like the filigree on it, and you're just like, huh. It's just from some isle or some trade port or somewhere in the Great Blue in the Bishada Isles.
So is this piece
way
like,
far away?
is the coin the entire piece, or is it like a base that it sits on, or is it?
So it's a coin that he essentially, you know how you see those little like tripod mounted like little like things. I don't know what you call them, but they kind of open up to hold something. He's actually has like one of those. It's a little small piece of like that that's used just to hold the coin. So you see the fish head.
Okay, cool.
Kind of staring at you, and yeah, it's of a very it's of a silver coin. It's but it's on the outside it's tarnished, but where the actual fish's face would be, it's like smooth, slick, polished, beautiful.
I will ask, so you remember when you had us put items in our inventory, just like come up with some random items?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you've looked at any of our items, but one of mine was a random coin that I don't know where the hell it came from.
Yeah.
Okay, so does this look anything like that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like,
I got to play something in.
Okay, just making sure I wasn't.
Yeah, you kind of at that moment, I would kind of imagine you're like, wait, and you kind of look through your pouch or something.
Yeah, I'll exactly pull it out and be like, "What? I knew I'd seen this before. Where did you get this?"
And he's like,
And then I'll show
Jordan.
him the coin that I got. I was like, "I've been looking for something like this."
huh? You've been to the Great Blue?
No, I don't. I got this way out east of the Crown Lands, like out on the sea east of the Crown Lands.
Julian! And you just hear him like calling Julian over. It's like, and then Julian will kind of like, yeah, what? Did you win? Is that what you're here to gloat, Rex? What's happening? It's like, Julian. He's got one of the coins. Julian, the coins. And he'll like, look, he's like, and he kind of points at his table, and then he looks at you and is like, yeah. So Davis, up to you. How do you imagine that coin looking?
So I'll say it's a similar color. So it's similar style. It's got like a hole punched in the middle, like a washer almost style.
Okay.
Has similar calligraphy around it as well, and but it maybe look it's pretty smooth. Like it's not as tarnished and stuff, just because like I constantly fidget with it. People may not realize it, but I'll just like fidget with it all the time as just something. Yeah. So it looks like it's like slightly smaller. It looks like maybe like a lower denomination since it's got less bulk to it.
Okay.
But yeah, like
And it's got the hole punch. Got it.
and the hole punch through it.
And I kind of, as that, it's where the hole is punched. It's actually like the mouth of of an eel kind of opening up, and you kind of, now that you're looking at it, you see that it's the face of the eel, and then you kind of see that it kind of like follows the rim, and on the back it's the very detail, like the tail of the eel. And he's like, huh.
Yeah, so
Julian
somebody offered this to me as payment, and I was like, I don't know what this thing's even worth, and they're just like, trust me, it's good.
Well,
I still demanded other payment. I will say, but I took this for some portion of it.
Well, Julian will be like, so hold on to that.
Well, it's rocks. Rock is.
I'll yeah. So you have it right?
Yeah, so no, like Julian will be like, no. If yours, Davis, he's gonna point to like that one with the hole.
Yeah.
So that's a key to something.
Like for a lock?
Yeah. For a treasure chest.
Really?
Probably. If you got it from someone on the coast, I'm assuming you.
Well, it was on a ship, but yeah.
Yeah. That's a key.
To what though? Like, what is it a key for?
One of the many mysteries of the Bishatas.
Of the what? Sorry, I didn't actually hear what you said.
It's a Bishatas. It's the Isles.
Okay.
I can write it out.
Yeah,
it's yeah. It's spelled funny.
I was like, yeah, no, I mean, because there's no way I'm gonna find the person that I got this from. I mean, this is 15 years ago, maybe at this point, and I don't even think I knew their name.
Well, either they didn't know what it was, or they knew exactly what it was. I really hope they didn't know what it was.
It seemed like they were simultaneously happy to get rid of it, but not wanting to part with it.
When's the last time you've been on the open seas? And Julian kind of just you get a sense of seriousness for a moment.
It's been over a year, maybe almost 2 years at this point. Gosh, I forget how long we were in the swamp, so
No, you're good. You said you got that 15 years ago. It's gonna sound weird. Any large sea creature attacks on any of your vessels unexpectedly? Up to you, Davis. You can. It's up to you.
I mean, how large? We would see, sharks and pretty large sea turtles and.
Like
Or,
a dragon turtle, maybe, or a baby kraken, or I don't know.
I think I'd remember those. Like the dragon turtles are like ship size, I think, aren't they?
They're bigger than most ships. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, we had a
Okay.
pretty decent sized ship, but no. I mean, most of them were no bigger than quarter or less than the size of our ship. So
All right. Well, that's good because that means that they're not looking for it. Because if that was
yeah, I'd never seen anything like this. I figured it was from across the globe, somewhere that I'd never been.
well, definitely across the globe, um, likely a key to someone's vault or treasure or home or something. But it looks like if you're not having giant sea creatures chasing you for it, it wasn't stolen. So
What about it being stolen?
it probably wasn't stolen because the stories go that those of the Bishara Isles have a strong connection with the sea because there's much more sea than there is land. In fact, there's entire colonies supposedly under the water or in the clouds. Actually, I still don't know how that one would work, but
We're
anyway,
under the water, right?
yeah, peoples that have learned to live in the water
Huh.
and made a connection with it. Where, how do I put it? Where we use horses and oxen and the like. They use turtles and giant eels and sharks for different things. Seem to
Yeah,
be
we
able
did
to
see some pretty big sea snakes, but nothing like what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, well that's good because if there was, the owner of that coin may have sent something after it to try to find it.
Huh.
And that's why I was wondering if
I mean, I will
like
say, even though I got it out on the sea, it never came with me back out on the sea. It's just something I've carried with me ever since I quit that life.
well, just be careful then.
So, should I be careful? I mean, we went on the river with it.
No. I don't
It's gotta
think
be
that.
bigger.
I'm thinking sea, open sea,
Okay.
salt water.
Good to
Be
know.
careful. No. And then Julian will just be like, Rex, I never thought we'd see one of those again.
So is his a key too?
No. His is just a little trading coin. His is
Wow.
simple. You could exchanged more hands than I don't know. It's old though. It's real old.
Huh.
But he said it's yours. And this guy Julian kind of reaches down for the piece and is like holding it and kind of hands it. It's got a new owner. Rex, you lost. You really do suck.
What a stupid game.
So I have the coin thing now.
Yeah, if you take it, basically Julian picked it up off the little again. It's like those little. I wish I knew what they're called, but it's like when one of your parents has like a really nice ceramic plate or some piece of
It's like a little
china,
stand,
and it's like
basically.
yeah, like a little stand, and he basically had like a small little like a teeny tiny one of those, and that's what he was using to prop the coin up so you would see the fish head coming at you.
Okay, so I'll take it. I'll look at it for a second. And then I'll look at Davis and I'll hand it over to Davis. I'll be like, man, I don't know if I could have won without your help. So congrats, you got your first piece to a chest. Like I said, you're a natural at this thing.
I mean, can you play without a complete set? I don't know what to do with this.
Nope, you're gonna have to earn the rest, I guess, or maybe we'll get you one somewhere. But you got your first piece. Congrats, buddy.
Okay. Guess I'll just
Cool.
put that in my inventory then.
Yeah, so Danny, go ahead and put some details on your mystery coin,
Yeah.
the one that you.
The one I already had.
Yeah, so it's basically like where you said it's punched out. the front is like an eel, and then the back where the tail would whip around is like a tail turning into almost like a storm or a cyclone kind of looking thing. And question key or whatever you want to do. And then the one that Rex had, or the one that you got, Owen, is, you recognize the filigree or the calligraphy on it, or whatever the proper wording is right now. My brain is a little mush. It's a polished fish face. Otherwise, the coin is really tarnished. And on the back, it's just impressions of, fish scales kind of running.
Got it.
Cool. All right.
But then I'd turn to Julian, and I have that key that I've had for a long time, mystery key, whatever that's been. Sorry, I'm like, you sure seem to know a lot about keys. Is this anything? And I'll just hand them to him.
Do you have any description on the key? Can't remember right now.
What's in the inventory? Sorry. No, it says mystery key. I believe we picked it up.
I don't know how you picked it up.
Around the pig village when we first saw our first pig source.
You picked it up from one of the chests. Yeah. I don't know if I gave you any details on it. He'll look at it and he's like, sorry, Brock. Looks like one in a million type of keys. I'm sorry. Don't know anything about that one.
Okay. I don't even know why I'm carrying this stupid thing around. It doesn't even do anything. I'll put it back in my pocket.
Okay. Hey, we collect trinkets, memories, right? It's probably why you won't let go of it.
I guess the only memory attached to this one was killing pig people. They were evil pig people.
Still a memory. Beating some bad guys. There you go. So. Alright, Dregnar, anyone doing anything? Or are we just gonna wait till nightfall, or not nightfall, but, till dusk, essentially?
Where we're at, is anyone able to see us? What's the area like? Is it open? Are we hiding in a pipe? What are we doing?
So you are on top of one of the many hills. There's like two sets of twin hills on the southwestern side of Green Hill, pretty close to the river Sly. In fact, there's plenty of little fingerlets that kind of graze on through. And if you look out the mill, which is not functioning right now, you'll see that you can see just fishermen out in the river Sly proper, casting their nets and trying to get some fish. You see some others just jumping into the water, apparently trying to spear something or get something from the bottom. This, you were told, was, they were investigated and abandoned after word got out to check the mills, and that these were some of the first ones because they were so close to town that were shut down, and they did indeed find remnants of the blue crystals here as well. But this is just a hiding place. No one really seems to go here. It's what as far as you know, that the Grot Guard and Julian have agreed upon as a place to meet and escort people in and out of Green Hill.
Okay, so while they're playing chess, and I know that I'm not going to be able to meditate at dusk, I am just going to go through some of the combat maneuvers that I was taught recently, just to kind of practice them and, get more familiar with them.
As you're doing that, wait, actually, I should ask, where are you doing it? Are you doing inside, or are you just doing in the grounds,
It's going to be outside,
Okay.
Because I'm going to be using my shog, so I'm going to need the room.
Gotcha. So as you're kind of doing that, there are a few of the individuals that you came with you as well, and they're kind of out keeping watch, just making sure, but they're staying out of sight, essentially, because they don't want people to know that there's any activity going on in the mills. But you're able to get kind of like deep down on the side of the face of the hill, like on the opposite side of where Green Hill is. You got plenty of natural cover, and you're doing it. And after you're kind of doing this for 10 minutes or so, just whipping out the show, kind of almost like dancing with it. The one human, a little bit older, that's of the verdant cause, because you see the insignia of the green that seems to be helping. Kind of, you notice that he's been watching you, kind of just, observing.
Okay, well, I'll continue on and, just kind of keep an eye out when I can as I'm spinning and leaping and twirling around.
And eventually he'll say, "Never seen a dwarf use something so light." Huh.
Well, when you're not raised by dwarves, you adapt.
Very cool. What is that anyways? A knife on a string?
Is there like an old piece of building, a tree or something around?
Sure. Yeah, of course.
I'll kind of go through some routines and show him, the attacking with it, the grappling of, like, if it's a small limb coming out, I'll wrap it around and grapple it and pull it and stuff like that.
Huh. That's pretty neat.
And then I'll show him how, like, using the weight of, like, coming down on my foot on the chain gives me the ability to snap limbs, like when they're grappled.
Yeah, as you kind of do that, you got to break a limb from the tree, kind of lowering him. He's like, huh. Well, seems like you adapted well. Yeah, interesting. Where are you from?
Usagi.
Why would someone from Usagi come to this? And he's just kind of looking around. He's like, I don't even know what to call it anymore.
Well, I got on, like I said, I had no family. I got on with the merchant traders as protection and traveled all through Usagi and up towards the coast of, if I say it wrong, correct me, Doia, whatever the hell it was called.
Let me look at it. I'm trying to remember what name.
The right side, the little...
Lucidia.
Lucidia, there he goes, Lucidia. Through different areas around there, and finally made my way up to Whitlaw and got on with a caravan, and we went into Volpine and was attacked, and then I ran into Rock and Al and Davis, Marb, and the rest of the guys.
Well,
just to show off a little bit, one of the times while I'm doing a flip or whatever, I'll reach in and take a couple of ninja stars out as my bonus action and then throw them at the tree.
He's like, concealed weapons. Seems like you've been in a... And he's kind of like looking at your face because you kind of like get kind of closer. He's like, seems like someone that's been in a bunch of scruffs. And yeah, well, worse for wear from what I can tell.
Yeah, each one's a tale.
I know that. Well, so how do you know Seb then?
Well, I like I said, friends with the Crass Menagerie, and they introduced me to him. And then like that, I want to insight this guy to see if he's trying to get information.
Yep, go for it.
He's asking questions.
Yeah,
11.
11. He just seems to be a soldier that's trying to, essentially pat down what's new and different and try to make sure he understands it.
Okay. And then I'll introduce myself, Dregnar. And you are?
Ken Ross. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. How is he dressed? What kind of weapons does he...
So he is On the more leather side of the armors, however, you do see where there are some semblance of like a scale like chest plate or chest covering made of like scale armor. He does have one pauldron of metal, and then he has a proper kite shield. He has a flail and apparently a few daggers. You can tell mostly, as almost everyone here, not super fine armor or all that. He does have some greaves on that are metal. Doesn't necessarily look like it's patchworked. It looks more of just like it's been stripped down and used more for sneaking around rather than having the heavy armors and all that. But he does still have the emblazoned symbol of the golden flower, which is the symbol of the verdant cause. And there's that patch of green that represents Kled and the Harvest Reach, because that is like their color. He is 50s human male. Has a moderate beard for a human. Nothing like of your dwarven heritage.
Was this somebody who was on the boat with us before when we came down there?
No,
Oh, okay.
no. You were introduced to him without getting his name over at Green Post when he was one of the people that was going to be coming with you. And he stood out. One of y'all noticed him just because he stood out a little bit because he did have that insignia of the verdant cause.
Oh, right.
So that's him. Mostly white and gray, but there is some black still remaining in his beard.
Erebus?
No.
Oh, no, this is a different person. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you said no, that's right. We didn't know the name.
Well, yeah, now you know, or Dregnar knows him as Ken Ross. Like,
so I'll ask him, well, how did you become part of the cause and where you're from? Just kind of the same questions he was asking me.
well, I think, at least family says I was born over on the open plains, but we came over when I was real little here to Kled. Then family was, I don't know, ranchers, farmers. Got the chance to go to decent school for, because how to put it, went into the, stewardship, got a little bit of an education, got into the military here, so verdant cause. Been with him for more than 30 years easy now. Kind of, you heard what Seb said at that dinner or that meeting. Don't agree with what the Sovereign did. Needs to protect all of Kled. Harvest Reach. The green go where the green needs help. Don't agree with it. That's why I'm here.
Well, I'm sure the Sovereign will be dealt with accordingly and in a timely manner.
Pretend I didn't hear that, but...
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Exactly. He said, I'll pretend I didn't hear that.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Uh-huh. And he just kind of nods. I'm like, well, go back to your... Did you hear me, James, or was that just you?
I was joking, too.
Okay, got it. I was just like so confused there for a moment. So yeah, Ken Ross will just kind of be like, nod, be like, Dregnar, good luck on the reconnaissance later tonight. I'll be staying here just protecting the mills. So, good luck. See you in what? 3 days, 5? Be careful.
Thank you, and you as well.
Thank you.
And I'll keep doing what I'm doing.
Okay. At one point when you're kind of doing that, he'll kind of whip out his, his choice, his little, chain flail. It's not anything like those anime ones that you see where the head is massive. It's like, it just has like this little metal elongated like stub on it essentially with a few notches on it, and he'll just kind of twirl it around, just loosening it up a little bit. But he's trying not to make too much noise, so he's not like banging it against something. He's not taking out his shield. Yeah, he seems like a capable fighter.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but with that, if anyone has anything, feel free to pipe up. You guys are just essentially camping out at the 2 mills, waiting for the fishermen to start heading on in, so Julian can put you all on some boats and get you all.
I would say
On the
Marb
port side.
was gonna look for what's her name, the Julian's like bodyguard.
Oh, for Dazzle.
Dazzle, that's her name.
Dazzle. Sure. How would you picture Marv looking for it? Going off on his own?
Yeah, maybe just kind of not exactly sneak off during the dragon chest, but I don't think he would necessarily. Let me look at his. He doesn't know dragon chest. It doesn't look like.
No.
But it probably just wouldn't interest him, and he may just be doing casual reconnaissance, not like super sneaky, but
yeah,
just like getting the lay of the land.
All right. Just for shits and giggles, go ahead and give me because Marv is Marv. Go ahead and give me a stealth check. You are technically not in urban, so
Aww.
yeah, you're technically still like on swampy.
That's fine. So what's it? He gets advantage on stealth for something, but not.
Not now. Not now. I don't think, because he's not on his terrain. Let me make sure.
A part of the terrain thing? I couldn't remember.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You make dexterity, stealth, and on or any intelligence or wisdom checks related to your favorite terrain.
Gotcha. Okay.
Your proficiency bonus. Wait. When you make your proficiency bonus is increased. Let's see, stealth. I gotta remember all this stuff. He actually might vanish.
Yeah.
If you're on your favored, he can do it while lightly
obscured.
obscured. Yeah, so I don't think he has advantage on it.
Never mind then. That's fine. He's still got good stealth. 17, I think.
General 17. That's fine. Okay, cool. So he does get out and kind of slips out and looks around. Taking in the
he's not like trying to be hidden per se, just
just in general, just so like no, I understand. So he's able to kind of go out. Marb feels that if he wanted to, he could venture a moderate distance away from the mills. Using what natural trees there are, and then natural
keep an eye out
swamp.
for some hay if you can find any hay.
Yeah, and he does eventually kind of see where one of the fingerlets kind of gets really close to the hills. You may have noticed it on the way in, but there were some boats, just regular 2-man wooden, fishing vessels. Nothing, you row yourself in, row yourself out. Boats that are just kind of packed and hidden in some of the natural swamp vegetation, and there's some extra to cover them up, just so they're not so easily found. But go ahead, yeah. How would you imagine him looking for Dazzle? Like, where would you think? Where would he look, or what would he do?
So we're in a mill, right? The rest of us.
Yeah.
Okay. And is there other so as the mills are they kind of like densely packed here, or is it just like one mill and all the supporting structures, kind of like when we were at the olivine mills, or?
So it's one of the mills is a solitary mill with a singular, I guess you would say like a living quarters cabin
right
next to it, and then the other mill, which is across on the other hill, not too far away, from what Marv can see, it's a hill, and there's the mill, and the mill itself has like a building, almost like has an entry hallway into the building, so it looks almost more kind of like a ranch, but that has a mill coming out of the top of it. Let's call it that.
So, are there any people kind of like standing guard surreptitiously around?
As Marv is kind of walking around, he does notice from time to time that there is, someone in brown garb or matching kind of,
Yeah.
just kind of looking. They seem to be probably people that are associated with you guys. And then you kind of will see him nod. They'll nod back.
I'm curious. I'm trying to think if he would ask. If he may just ask. I don't actually know if he would ask or not. Here, let me roll. If 11 or higher, and he asks. I rolled a 19, so yeah, he may ask. We're like, hey, Bakar, you ever seen someone who looks like? And then he'll just describe Dazzle.
He's like, mm-mm. Haven't seen a full dark leather clad, blade wielding halfling girl.
Yeah, you might not see her now. To come to think of it, she likes to be unseen, I think. So.
She's someone we need to look out for.
No, she's a friendly. Well,
Okay.
I think she's friendly. Yeah,
Okay.
maybe you should be on the lookout. Be careful.
Okay, we'll be careful. Why would she come here, though?
I don't think she would, but she's dangerous, man. But I'll keep an eye out for you. Don't you worry.
Is this someone's heart that you broke? Is this what happened?
Not yet.
Hmm?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, don't let your women problems cloudy up your judgment. We have,
I never do. I keep it
Okay.
professional.
All right. All right. Well, try not to
Stay
wander
safe.
too far.
Stay safe. Baka.
Same to you. And you gotta like Baka's back. Baka.
He will do an exact imitation of his Baka back at him. Of his bad Baka.
Like- Yeah, he's like, that is very weird.
Just laugh and walk away.
Yeah. I guess you can go ahead and give me an investigation check at disadvantage because you didn't really get any good intel.
Sure. 20 and a 6. So
Well,
total.
wait, actually, I think. Wait, is
Oh,
this
he has
totem?
advantage. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, just straight roll.
I'll reroll then.
Okay.
It's a total of 15.
15. Marb goes, both sets of hills. He's gone for a while. Like,
Yeah, it's not
He-
just to find Dazzle, but
Yeah.
also to get the lay of the land.
yeah. So he'll get pretty familiar with the lay of the land. Know basically, that there is that little valley between the two hills, which provides lots of natural cover. There's plenty of natural shrubbery and trees and swamp plants off to the water side. Plenty of cover. He knows exactly where the hidden boats are. He went inside the second mill, and that second mill is abandoned. There's no one in there.
Okay.
And as he's walking all the way up to the top of the mill, he sees, and he's like kind of looking around, and he can kind of, it's a pretty good view of Green Hill, really good view of your second mill. But yeah, it doesn't look like there's anything in there. There are signs at the grinding bowl, because Marvel kind of just remember, go and look, and there was indeed where the grinding bowl had a piece of it smashed out. You can only imagine. Was because crystals.
Right.
And he'll walk around, and then he'll get back, and he'll go into that second living quarter. And it's starting to get dark, and he's like, Dazzle, 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 Dazzle. He's starting to get frustrated, not able to find sign.
Does Green Hill look like it's on fire anymore? I guess it wasn't really on fire to begin with, but
No, it was never engulfed in flames.
yeah, okay.
When there's commotion and you're in a city, chances are something will catch fire and burn. He looks at the sun. It's starting to kind of get down. He knows that it's missions ahead of him, so he'll return back to the whale where you guys are. I'm just gonna sneak in. That's his little.
Yep.
All right. You think Al or Davis or anyone else would want to do anything right now?
Can I read the book that I got from the tower?
Trying to remember
From
which
the crypt, I think.
Or
From that.
Yeah, from the crypt. It was it was like a weird history / some of it I couldn't read.
It was like her log, right? Was that the one that you're talking about?
No, this one was a tome. See what I put for notes.
Yeah, that might help me because I can try to look up my notes real quick. You guys have collected a lot of knickknacks at this point.
Yeah, we have.
Mhm.
Where did you go?
Because I know Yarsi had the tome that was like her research log that eventually turned into Wild Ramblings, and then eventually.
Ish.
I don't see it in my inventory, so I will say I lost it on the way back.
Okay. Okay.
Unless I put it in the bag of holding.
Yeah, because you didn't take the book that was controlling the illusion or the upper.
Yeah, no, it was the one that I read when we had all the different rooms to go through, and I kind of just searched for them out.
Yeah. Well,
But I don't see it in my inventory, nor I don't know how I missed it, but yeah, I don't see it. I lost it.
Okay.
Oh well.
All right. Well, you still have your book you can read, like your actual spell book. I don't know what else you would want to do.
I'm gonna play with Pebble and my spinny orb around my staff and do myself.
Okay. Are you going outside at any point, or are you just staying inside the mill?
No, I'd go outside. We
Okay.
were in cooped up towers, and
Gotcha.
I got the itch to enjoy nice land that isn't swampy.
Okay. So you're out there. You do see at one point like Marb kind of walking further down, just doing Marb things, scouting around or whatever. And you're kind of playing with Pebble, and then Pebble's flying up and then flying back to your staff and flying around and all this. And after a little while, you'll hear a little gentle voice and like, "Hey, that's a pretty bird. What is that? Is that your pet?" It's a little halfling, dark-haired female, just simple dress, simple attire, more like commoner's clothing, but you see over it is a brown like shawl with a hood on it. It's like, that's a really pretty bird. Is that an oxpecker?
This is Pebble. I don't Pebble's my bird. I don't know. She's a bird. Pebble, go say hi to the bird. Who are you? What are you doing here?
I'm Velma. I'm here on guard. I saw the bird swooping, and then I don't know. So birds tend to tell you things when you're. Sorry, yeah, Velma. You'll learn to look where birds are going for clues. See a bunch of birds hovering around an area, there's usually something dead. You see a bird flying back and forth in a certain area, there might be something hidden. So I just came to check it out.
Oh.
But who are you?
Oh, I'm Rock. Hi, I'm with the Crass Menagerie. We're here to help, hopefully.
That's how you guys walk in. Hopefully. Venturer type, right? My only guess is you don't look like... Oh yeah, adventurer type. Gotta be adventurer.
Yeah, and we've seen some adventures. Pebble, go say hi, and I'll let Pebble fly and land on her shoulder.
Flies on her and she's like, "Oh, it's a good trained bird. Cute. Very clean. Wow, very clean." Kind of stretches it. Stretch it out.
I'll after she gives her a scratch, I'll snap my fingers and make Pebble disappear.
What what did I? She's like looking around for the birds. Like, what happened? Did I?
What? What happened to what?
The bird was on my shoulder.
What bird?
The bird. Your bird. You told
I had
her the pebble to come land on my shoulder.
No, I don't think so. Are you feeling okay? I'll put my hand on her forehead.
Give me a deception check. Wow, I cannot roll tonight.
I wanted this to work. I rolled a 3 plus my minus whatever, so minus 2, so 1.
She rolled a natural 1, but with her bonuses, she's got a higher one. So she's like, "Huh? No. No, 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 no. Don't be a jerk. There was a bird.
I'll
Came
snap my
here.
fingers again to make Pebble appear and be like, "You're good. I'm glad we have you on watch. You'll keep us safe."
What and then I guess she'll kind of look over you and she'll, give you a once over now actually, and she'll see the little like your pouch, your staff, your little collection of things on your shell, and see like the little glass orb. She's like, oh, you're one of those magic types. Got it, got it. That's not a real bird, is it? It's one of those. What do they call them? Families? No, no. Friendly? No.
Familiar. She's my familiar.
There we go.
She's my best friend in the whole wide world.
Oh.
You know what? You passed the magic test. You can keep up the good work out here.
Oh, thank you. Cute familiar. When are you guys going into town? Is that you guys are part of the group that's going in?
People maybe.
Oh. Okay. Well, hey. If you are, I get it. You can't tell me. Can't compromise the mission. I get it. Just be careful.
You too. Stay sharp out here. I'll just wander off.
Bye, Pebble.
Tweet.
Yeah. So.
Can I have Pebble just scout around a bit? I'll just briefly. I want to just see if there's anything interesting.
Okay. Are you gonna bump into Pebble, or are you just gonna?
Yeah, I'll be looking through Pebble.
Okay. Go ahead and. Are you looking for anything in particular? Are you looking like for lay of the land?
Anything that just would catch my eye. Like, so if there's any sort of like a favorite berry or food of mine that I might be able to go grab, or anything that just seems out of place. Just
okay. All right, go ahead and give me an insight check, or sorry, not insight, perception check. D20 plus what's Pebble? +4 for Pebble.
21.
Oxford perception. Oh, actually at advantage because she's got keen sight. I forgot about that. So 21 and what else?
Yep, still 21.
21. Yeah, so you're able to. Pebble will kind of fly around, and you'll kind of, as you find a little piece of, leftover refuse. Essentially, maybe it was some sort of tools, like a shed that's kind of broken down, and there's some tools still in there that are neglected, and you kind of lean up against it, kind of get yourself in there, bamp your vision, and let Pebble kind of fly. There are some bushes closer to the water's edge that strike you as you've seen them before, and you don't remember what they're called, but you remember that they have some really, really tasty flowers on them. Very sweet.
Okay, I'll go to the bushes. I grab as many flowers as I can just pick and bundle up.
Sure.
And then as I walk to the mill, I'll be eating some, and I'll offer her some to Velma. Be like, "You want to eat a flower?"
To who? Sorry.
What was her name? Vel.
Oh, Velma. Velma, the little halfling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're just known as honey petal. They get their name because they surprisingly taste a lot like honey. So and you know that they grow just along rivers that are very healthy rivers. That have a lot of growth and that. So so you go ahead and take one, eat it, pass it to Velma, and she's like, "What? What is this? Are you asking me out on a date? What's happening here?"
No, try it. Eat it. I'll just grab another one and eat it. It's delicious.
So, hey, wow, whoa, that tastes really good. Where'd you find that? It's got to be something you found on one of your adventures, isn't it?
Yeah, I've walked a lot. I've also eaten a lot of flowers, but I don't talk about that.
All right. Yeah, so you essentially you can, for it's not enough to fill anyone up on a meal, but it's a nice little treat. You have plenty. You can have them for a few days if you ration them or whatever.
I'll make sure I have enough to give to all of the Crass.
Cool. All right. I guess if no one has anything else, eventually, practicing your show, exploring, looking for Dazzle, you know, uh, relaxing in the tower, just taking it easy, or stepping out and kind of putting your back on the hill and laying and absorbing some sun. All of you eventually will see that the sun is starting to go down,
I would say,
and
hey,
it'll.
real quick.
Mhm.
I was gonna maybe talk to Al, and if Rock was around, but if he's like bammed into the treble, maybe not. But I'm gonna be like, hey.
Say that again, Davis. You got a little soft.
Sorry, yeah, I haven't finished. I may just talk to. I think I was gonna talk to Al since he's
Okay, go
still
for
around.
it.
I might say something like, the stuff we did in the marsh, like that should make things here better, right? Like it was supposed to stop the energy getting funneled into bad things or something. Like, shouldn't that be happening? Shouldn't we be weakening them or something? You guys read this stuff. I don't know how this all works, so.
Al will say, yeah, Davis. I mean, we knew that. What was it that they figured out how to kind of take that energy from here, and we're kind of just spreading it out to get the land ready for some sort of ritual or something to bring back their matron.
Yeah, did we
I
stop
mean,
that by doing what we did?
I think we at least stopped the flow, but who knows how much they already
Yeah.
put in. I mean,
And
let's
that's
be
not gonna stop the
honest.
giants either, right? Like, so.
I don't understand what the connection between the giants are, if there is one. The only thing I know um, was that we read that they can sense that ore or whatever, that
Right.
Salvi, right? I think Rock found that out in one of the notes. They seem to be able to kind of find it, but I don't know why they would want it.
Yeah, I don't either.
They're
Like, they don't use,
so
like, anything that ore would be good for, I don't think, right? They don't make things with, like, metals or things like that. They just throw rocks and throw, like, swing clubs or whatever. I don't know.
I wish I knew. I mean, I've seen some big things, but I mean, giants and ogres and that, not,
I mean, the two we fought weren't, like, wearing armor or anything. They were just big, burly things.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It's weird. Maybe this is two separate things.
Yeah.
Maybe it's connected. I mean,
Yeah, I really hoped clearing that tower would just mean, hey, Green Hill saved. We can go, do some other stuff.
yeah, but Davis, how do we put it? Here we go. Where I'm from, there's a lot of rivers, right? And we kind of stop the flow a little bit to make it safer and have more land and everything. But if one of those dams ever breaks, the water can run for a while. And then even when you fix it, the effect is still felt. Maybe it's just like, we've put the dam up and now we're just waiting for it to pass. I don't know.
This is one of those Anna whatevers that I don't know what you're
Yeah,
talking about.
analogies.
Analogies, yeah, I don't really get it. It's
Yeah. Just,
I get it. I mean, I kind of get it. We've got more work to do, I guess. That's
well,
okay.
I think what? It's been about maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks since we stopped it.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll be seeing some signs of that, or maybe it's just. I mean, they could have been doing this for decades, or a decade, I think, right?
That's true.
Who knows? Maybe
I mean, the
we came
trolls were
too
there
late.
for 200 plus years, right? So.
Yeah, but the hags weren't there that long. I think the hags only figured it out.
Yeah.
I remember. I mean, let's see if he remembers. No, he doesn't.
I
My
don't know.
roll there. I cannot roll above a 5 today.
All right, let's get
he's
to a
like,
fight, everybody.
he's like, yeah, I think it was like something like they said, maybe a decade or so. I don't. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, we'll keep an eye out for any weird. I mean, hey, we got Marv. He's good at seeing the spookies, I guess. Uh,
Yeah,
but
apparently he
no,
can like just protect people from spooky magic or something. Like I didn't know he could do that, but apparently he did for Cletus.
I mean, have you seen his eyes when they go all milky white with a little bit of purple? I would believe it.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not natural. Of course, a lot of things we do is not natural. Anyways, uh, let's
Yeah, I'm
focus
just a little
on
disappointed.
figuring.
I wanted to go to Carver and check some stuff out, but
Hey, buddy. Whoa. He'll put his the awkwardness because he's still when you look
he's
at
older
him.
than me now.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
He looks so much older than you. Actually, Davis, go ahead and give me your choice, perception or insight, whatever you want.
They're the same either. But I'll tell you which one. So what am I trying to just like read as a
As,
read as?
as Al kind of puts his hand up on your shoulder, trying to be like, you know.
That's pretty good either way. 22. We'll just say perception.
He's older than you, but it's like you could have sworn he was older than you. Now he just looks like he's a little bit older than you. It's like, you must have just kind of, okay. He doesn't seem as old as he was.
Gotcha. Okay.
He's like, man, buddy, we'll figure it out. Don't worry. We'll get you to Carver. We'll figure out your magic stick.
Yeah. Hey, it's not a stick.
Hey.
Come on.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's not a magic stick. I'm trying to less serious.
You try
more.
to be
Come
funny
on.
sometimes, Alan. You're just not.
Yeah, I'm not good at funny. I'm good at. I don't know what I'm good at.
I mean, you're good at everything.
Yeah.
I'm better than you at some stuff. You just have to deal with it. Actually, I'm curious.
Yeah.
Am I actually better than him than anything? I actually am not sure.
I think you are.
Animal handling. I'm definitely better than him at animal handling. Other
I
than
mean,
that, performance. I'm actually better than performance.
yeah, and I think you're
And
stronger than
athletics. Yeah, so athletics.
Yeah, so
Okay.
you know.
I got a couple things.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. I mean, we all got our strengths. Some more than others.
Yeah. Slight
Yeah,
flex.
Yeah. I'm glad you picked up on that. There we go. All right. Listen, Davis, let's keep an eye out on if things changed, great. Maybe we'll pick up on something. But let's really, let's remember why we're here. We're trying to figure out, what's that? We need to figure out why they're working together, why their influence is so strong, and if we can, somehow either save people or get Green Hill back to the people of Green Hill, right?
Yeah.
Right. We'll get to Carver. Don't worry. I promise. Even if it's just the two of us.
But now there's this key thing too. There's all sort. Yeah. I mean, problem at hand. We got to deal with the problem at hand.
Hey, at least he said that there's not some, spooky giant shark chasing you.
Apparently there should have been, but okay.
Or I think he meant could have been.
Yeah. Well, I don't think a shark's gonna get me here, but.
What if a shark had legs? You just see Al kind of drift off and
Dude,
think.
After what we saw in that tower,
Yeah.
I don't even know, man.
I mean, even after what we saw at Volpine, those pigs.
Oh man,
The
yeah.
tentacles, barbs, the eyeballs, the.
Being the size of 4 bears.
Do you remember that rock told it to run away, and it did?
Where we never saw it again. Literally never saw it again. Could
It's
still be.
probably just destroying part of the country as we speak, and it's our fault.
Yeah. Maybe it went to Whitlaw and got the sovereign. Let's hope.
That'd be cool.
Or maybe the sovereign like tamed it and is now riding it. I don't want to think about that.
I don't think anything could tame it.
Yeah, it's true. Well, except for Rock, right? I guess not tamed it, but.
I think
away.
he magicked it away.
Yeah. That's so crazy.
I don't know how he's so good and he doesn't understand how he's so. It's weird, man.
I I
Like, I gotta
two
try.
You two
I have
did your
to
little
try.
magic illusion trick together, which was pretty cool. I mean, that was
Yeah, but for him, it's so natural. For me, it's like my veins. I'm sure you can see the veins on my foreheads. They just.
I mean, yeah, the maze did some fucked up shit to you, so.
Yeah. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
But you look a little. I don't know. You look a little better. Maybe just getting out of the marsh and being done with all that stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe just look a
Well.
little bit. Anyway.
Anyways, let's
Yeah. Okay.
let's focus on the recon.
Yeah, you'll have to teach me how to get. I mean, you wear like thicker armor than I do, and you're just quiet as a goddamn mouse when you move in that stuff. And here I am, like clunkety clunk. Even in this like pretty kind of cool armor that Grant
Yeah.
gave me, like it's, I just chink 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 whenever I walk around. But you're just like quiet as the wind.
He'll say, it is cool armor, and I like that you kept the shoulder pauldrons. Yeah, I would miss those if you got rid of them.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. That's so you. But and he kind of does like the rock fingers, like kind of metal. He says it. He's like, I mean, honestly, Davis, I don't know. Years of sneaking around, getting away from the family. That's all I can say. I don't know.
It's impressive.
I guess it's well fitted armor. I don't know. Like, I guess it's. We'll see. Maybe I'm just lucky right now. Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
All right, cool. Well, here, we'll go ahead and take a slightly earlier break. And then when we get back, we'll, for part 2, we'll figure out how you guys are going to get yourselves into Green Hill via the waterway.